GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening, Montreal. Our top story tonight. The SPCA is urging a ban on pet prohibiting rental rules as stray numbers climb. Traffic will see minor delays from construction and residents can enjoy the freshly painted courts at Martin Luther King Park. Over to you, Emma.
The freshly painted basketball courts at Martin Luther King Park opened Saturday, showcasing bright turquoise, orange, and teal surfaces, with new seating for families and local teams.
The park now features 3 full-size courts, each with fresh line markings and LED lighting for evening play, thanks to a city-funded renovation project.
Residents plan a weekend slam dunk tournament on the new courts, inviting players of all ages to register online, with free refreshments provided by local vendors.
With those courts ready for community play, the summer schedule is shaping up nicely. Lots to get to, so let's begin. Good evening, Montreal. The Montreal SPCA issued a stark appeal today, urging both the city and landlords to scrap any lease clauses that bar tenants from having pets. The organization says the number of abandoned dogs and cats entering its shelters has risen sharply, a trend it links to the annual Canada Day moving rush that leaves more trash on streets and more stray animals wandering the neighborhoods. Officials with the SPCA warn that prohibiting pets in rental units forces owners to surrender animals or abandon them when they relocate. They called on municipal leaders to adopt a citywide prohibition on pet ban clauses and asked landlords to adopt pet-friendly policies that protect both renters and vulnerable animals. The group said immediate action is needed to stem the growing tide of strays overwhelming its facilities.
Police say a pursuit unfolded across city streets this morning, ending in arrests and a manhunt. Officers from the Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal initiated the chase after a report of a stolen vehicle in the Plateau Montreal area. The suspect convoy weaved through traffic on St. Laurent Boulevard, cut onto Green Line corridor, and was blocked near the Jean Talon Market. In the operation, 3 individuals were taken into custody, while a 4th suspect escaped on foot. A spokesperson for the Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal said the chase started at roughly 9 o'clock, and officers used traffic control protocols to protect motorists and pedestrians. No injuries were reported among drivers or bystanders. Detectives are reviewing surveillance footage and have appealed for witnesses to come forward. The search remains active, with officers patrolling Mile End and surrounding neighborhoods as they work to locate the remaining individual.
Félix Dalsay brought home a silver from the all-around gymnastics final on Sunday, adding to Canada's medal haul at the Commonwealth Games. The Montreal native's routine combined strength and elegance, earning him the second-place spot among the world's best. In the pool, Joshua Lindo defended his title with a gold medal performance in the men's 100-meter butterfly, touching the wall in 50.42 seconds to set a new meet record. Both athletes praised the support of teammates and coaches after their races. The Games, which gather competitors from across the Commonwealth, saw Canada lift medals in gymnastics and swimming on Sunday, underscoring the nation's depth in both sports. Dalsay and Lindo's achievements add to a growing list of Canadian successes on the international stage. Overall, Canada departed the opening day with 3 medals, a strong start that sets a hopeful tone for the rest of the Games.
Researchers have confirmed the presence of a transmissible melanoma in brown bullhead catfish inhabiting Lake Memphremagog, a body of water that straddles the Quebec-Vermont border. Sampling conducted this week indicates that roughly 1/3 of the catfish population, about 33%, carry the malignant cells. Laboratory analysis shows the disease spreads through direct cell transfer, marking the first documented case of a transmissible cancer in any fish species. The investigation, led by biologists from the University of Vermont and the Université de Sherbrooke, employed genetic sequencing to confirm that the tumor cells are identical across multiple fish. The discovery was announced Sunday, July 26 at 4 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Officials from regional wildlife agencies are coordinating with university scientists to monitor the outbreak and assess potential impacts on the lake's ecosystem. Further studies will evaluate whether the condition poses risks to other aquatic organisms or to human health.
Later today, CSN-affiliated paramedic unions are set to clinch a tentative agreement in principle with the Quebec government, ending a 3-year stretch of operating without a collective contract. Negotiations have stretched over more than 3 years, with both sides pressing for a framework that secures wages, working conditions, and benefits for the province's emergency responders. The deal, still subject to formal ratification, promises to bring stability to the workforce that has kept hospitals and ambulances running amid uncertainty. Officials say the agreement will lay the groundwork for a full collective bargaining pact, aiming to resolve lingering disputes before the next fiscal cycle. Stakeholders on both sides expressed cautious optimism, noting that the breakthrough could restore confidence among paramedics and the communities they serve. Health Minister Marie-Claude Bouchard welcomed the progress, saying it reflects a shared commitment to public safety and quality care. Later, we'll hear how Carney announced August 31 by-elections in 3 provinces, and why that matters for you. We will be right back.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches, no middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back, folks. I hope you had a moment to relax. Let's turn to Emma Leclerc for the local stories shaping our neighborhoods tonight.
Mark Carney announced today that the nation will head to the polls on August 31st for by-elections in British Columbia, Ontario, and Quebec. Voters in those ridings will choose new members of the House of Commons to replace 3 colleagues who have stepped down, one to take a diplomatic post, another to join the Senate, and a third who left federal politics entirely. The timing follows the standard practice of calling a vote whenever a seat becomes vacant, ensuring representation resumes without long delay. Residents in the affected districts will see campaigns intensify over the coming weeks, with parties positioning themselves on issues ranging from health care funding to transportation projects that touch daily commutes. The outcome will shape the balance of power in Parliament, influencing decisions that filter down to local services and infrastructure.
Early this morning, 2 Bromont residents uncovered a time capsule dating back to the 1870s, a find that pushes the town's history more than a century and a half into view. Rock Royer and David Thuriault were digging near their property when the sealed container emerged from the earth. While officials have not revealed what lies inside, the discovery itself has sparked excitement among neighbors who love a good slice of local heritage. The capsule, estimated to be 150 years old, joins a handful of similar finds across the province. Local historians say the object could offer a rare glimpse into daily life of the 1870s, and teachers have already arranged field trips for students to explore the find. As the community awaits more details, the find offers a fresh reminder that the past is never far beneath our feet.
Yesterday evening, the freshly painted basketball courts at Martin Luther King Park opened to the public, giving neighborhood families a bright new place to play. The makeover was completed by Buckets and Borders, a nonprofit that travels across Canada restoring outdoor courts with the help of sponsors. The organization applied a vibrant color scheme and resurfaced the playing surfaces, turning the Côte des Neiges Park into a hub for pickup games and youth programs. Officials said the project aims to boost community life by encouraging active recreation and offering a safe gathering spot. Local residents gathered for a ribbon-cutting ceremony, cheering as the first hoops were tested. The courts will now host regular leagues and informal matches, providing a fresh venue for basketball lovers across the area. Neighborhood kids and seniors alike have already claimed the space, planning weekend tournaments and practice sessions.
Yesterday, the Festival Ludique de Montreal opened its 3-day open-air showcase in the Quartier Latin, inviting families and friends to test the latest board game releases. Organizers from FLIM and the local board game industry reported a steady rise in enthusiasm, noting that attendance far exceeded expectations for a weekend event. Players wandered among tables set up under the trees, sampling everything from strategic Euro games to cooperative adventures, while designers demonstrated prototypes and gathered feedback. The buzz reflects a broader surge in Quebec's tabletop market, where new titles are finding eager audiences at festivals and specialty shops. For many attendees, the festival offered a relaxed way to discover fresh hobbies without leaving the neighborhood, turning a simple stroll through the Latin Quarter into a lively gaming playground. Kids and seasoned players alike left with new favorite titles, and the organizers hinted at expanding the event next summer.
Authorities are actively investigating the deaths of 3 children who were in the care of a Montreal Youth Protection Agency. The provincial coroner's office announced on Tuesday that 2 teenagers and a 4-year-old girl, all under the supervision of Batshaw Youth and Family Centers, died under circumstances that remain unclear. Batshaw, which offers English-language child welfare services in the city, is cooperating with investigators as the coroner's team conducts a full inquiry. Officials have not released further details about the incidents, and no cause of death has been confirmed. The ongoing probe aims to determine what factors contributed to the tragic outcomes and whether any systemic issues are involved. Families of the children have been notified and support services are being made available as the investigation proceeds. The coroner's mandate includes reviewing unexpected deaths to establish cause and circumstances, a process that can take several weeks.
Let's get a look at your evening forecast with our meteorologist today.
A weak ridge is yielding to a northwest jet, setting the stage for a dry, lingering evening. On this date, the all-time high for Montreal was 32.5 degrees, recorded in 2020 during an unprecedented heat wave that pushed the city into the upper 30s for several consecutive days. The record low stands at 12.6 degrees, set in 2013, when an Arctic surge dragged frigid air well into the summer, dropping temperatures into the single digits. Normal July, highs hover around 26 degrees with lows near 19. So today's 28 feels modestly above average, but far from the historic peak. On the live radar, the echo is essentially blank across the province, confirming a completely dry column of air. The weak ridge aloft, combined with the northwest jet at only about 21 kilometers per hour, is steering any lingering moisture eastward, well away from the city. With no reflectivity to the west, we expect the calm to persist through the night and clear skies to dominate until sunrise. At 6 this evening, Montreal sits under a partly cloudy sky with 28 degrees and a humidity of 31%. A gentle southerly breeze at 7 kilometers per hour drifts across the lake, while the pressure field is low and falling, signaling the slow ingress of cooler air from the northwest jet. The UV index reads 6, reflecting the waning solar angle. Winds will remain modest, topping 10 kilometers per hour from the southwest later this night, so wind chill stays negligible. No precipitation is expected, and there are no active weather alerts. As the ridge continues to erode, temperatures will dip to 19 by midnight before stabilizing around 27 at sunrise. Monday will break the weekend's calm with an overcast veil and a high near 30 degrees, as the northwest jet intensifies and pushes a shallow low southward. Tuesday brings another overcast day, but a 60% chance of rain will arrive as the low deepens, keeping temperatures steady around 29. Wednesday cools further to a high of 23, with light rain expected and a 50% probability, as the jet dips lower and moisture streams in from the Great Lakes. Thursday remains overcast with a moderate 35% rain chance and a high of 21, the system finally beginning to lift. Friday clears dramatically, delivering a bright sky and a high of 26 as high pressure builds back in, ending the week on a dry note. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunset is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic snarls linger from construction, the haunted pub crawl starts tonight, and the Canadiens' open season against Toronto tuned. We will be right back.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches, no middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Northbound traffic on the Papineau-Leblanc Bridge remains halted after major repairs closed the span overnight, forcing all vehicles onto the southbound lanes and adding a few minutes to crossing the river. Southbound access at the Daiquiri interchange from Marcel Lauren Boulevard to Highway 15 is also shut, directing drivers onto the alternate ramps at the interchange. On the Claimant Bridge, one of the two westbound lanes stays closed, so commuters should merge early and expect a short backup near the St. Lawrence River. The Louis-Hippolyte Lafontaine Tunnel now has a height clearance of 4.3 meters, so tall trucks must seek alternate routes. Highway 40 and Highway 15 continue with multiple lane reductions as resurfacing crews work through the afternoon, creating intermittent slowdowns near the Côte St. Lucian and St. Denis exits. No transit delays have been reported, and subway and bus services run on schedule. Expect these conditions to linger into the evening, with travel times gradually easing after rush hour.
Tonight the island comes alive at Picnic Electronic on Parc Jean Drapeau, where local and international DJs spin deep into the night, perfect for anyone craving a sunset set under the stars. Across the city, the Just for Laughs Montreal Festival continues to tickle Montrealers, with English-language stand-up and improv popping up in venues from the Crescent to the Third Floor Comedy Club. It's a chance to laugh loud and discover fresh talent. A short walk east, Festival Haiti on Fire, Lights up Parc La Fontaine with vibrant music, art, and cuisine, offering a taste of Caribbean culture right in the heart of the city. Looking ahead, the electronic duo KARNEF and vocalist MAFUBA will take the stage at El Escogriffe Bar later this week, a must-see for fans of cutting-edge beats. Whether you're dancing, laughing, or savoring new flavors, Montreal's summer pulse is unmistakable. And now here's Jason with sports.
Here's the latest on Montreal's teams and the league action. Thursday's Northern Super League clash saw AFC Toronto outplay the Montreal Roses, securing a 2-goal victory. Lauren Rowe and Kaylee Hunter each struck in the second half, while goalkeeper Sabrina D'Angelo contributed 2 saves. The win lifts Toronto into sole possession of third place. Looking ahead, the 2026-27 NHL season opens on September 29 with an all-Canadian showdown. The Montreal Canadiens will travel to Toronto for opening night against the Maple Leafs, marking a high-profile start for both clubs and the league. CBC Sports Soccer notes that AFC Toronto secured a 2-goal victory over the Montreal Roses on Thursday, with second-half strikes from Lauren Rowe and Kaylee Hunter. Goalkeeper Sabrina D'Angelo made 2 saves as Toronto moved into sole possession of third place. CBC Sports NHL outlines that the 2026-27 NHL season will tip off on September 29 with 2 all-Canadian opening matchups. The Montreal Canadiens are slated to visit the Toronto Maple Leafs, setting the stage for a classic Canadian showdown to start the campaign. The Canadiens have dealt forward Brendan Gallagher to the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for future considerations, a move confirmed on June 29 that reshapes Montreal's forward depth and adds a veteran presence to Vancouver's roster as the off-season progresses.
Good Food, the homegrown meal kit company tucked into St. Laurent, has been a staple for busy Montreal families looking for fresh, locally sourced dinners. The business, which delivers pre-portioned ingredients and chef-crafted recipes to doorsteps across the island, now faces a material uncertainty about its ability to keep operating. Over the past 3 fiscal quarters, it has recorded net losses exceeding $9 million and carries convertible debentures of $29 million due in March 2027. Management says they are reviewing strategic alternatives to stabilize the balance sheet. For the neighborhood, Good Food's presence means more than convenient meals. It supports local farmers, creates jobs, and keeps a piece of Montreal's culinary innovation alive. That's why the future of Good Food matters to all of us. Later, we'll celebrate the freshly painted courts opening in Martin Luther King Park, a bright new space for families to enjoy together.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches, no middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
In the bustling heart of St. Laurent, where the streetcar rattles past cafes spilling the scent of fresh croissants, a young man named Amir stood at a tiny wooden table, his resume stacked trembling like a nervous bird. An asylum seeker who arrived just months ago, he sent more than 400 applications to firms across Montreal, each one a quiet hope tucked into an inbox that rarely answered back. The silence grew heavy, and one evening, after a rain-slicked walk along the Latching Canal, Amir turned his gaze toward the quieter towns beyond the city's edge. He found a position at a family-run bakery in a small town on the South Shore, where the ovens glow like sunrise and the rhythm of dough kneading matches the steady beat of his own heart. On his first morning, the baker, an elderly woman with flour-kissed hands, handed him a warm baguette and a smile, saying, "We've been waiting for someone like you." In that moment, the countless rejections melted away, replaced by the simple, profound joy of belonging to a community that values his skill and his story. And that, dear viewers, is the quiet power of perseverance finding its place.
On a crisp summer evening at Saputo Stadium, the roar of more than 30,000 fans filled the air as CF Montreal faced Inter Miami. Families from the Hochelaga Mercier neighborhood, a marching band of local high school drummers, and a group of volunteers handing out water bottles set the scene for a night that felt more like a community celebration than a routine league match. The game surged back and forth, each chance met with chants of a Les CF that echoed down St. Catherine. When the clock slipped into the final 10 minutes, a swift Inter Miami counter-attack slipped past the defense, the ball finding the net just as the stadium lights flickered in a collective gasp. The whistle blew and the score settled, but the crowd's spirit never wavered. In the moments that followed, players from both sides joined the young fans on the field, signing autographs and leading a spontaneous sing-along of the club's anthem. That shared chorus, rising over the emptying seats, reminded everyone that the love of the game stretches far beyond any result. In Montreal, the heart of the community beats strongest when we come together, win or lose.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us on the local sunset. Tonight's highlight, Bromont residents unearthing a 150-year-old time capsule, reminded us how history lives beneath our streets. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter. Until then, stay safe and keep looking forward. Enjoy the night, and we look forward to seeing you again at sunrise.